That landscape is beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, that's Niagara Falls for you guys. This is the beauty of Canada. Well, you can come here too, guys. It's not that difficult. Let me break down everything to you in this video, all the processes, so that one day you can be a permanent resident in Canada. Hey everyone, welcome to the Immigrant Project. My name is Girish and I'm your host. And today is going to be a very special video. Today we are going to talk about how to apply for a permanent residency in Canada. And guys, there is no one way. There are multiple pathways to permanent residency in this country, and it is easy. Okay, it's very easy to understand. Please don't get freaked out. I am a permanent resident myself and I chose one of the paths. There are a few of my friends which took other paths and they got permanent residency as well. So today I'm going to explain, or rather break down, all the ways that you can apply for a PR in Canada and possibly work out one of the ways so that one day you can fulfill your Canadian dreams and come to this country. Alright guys, without wasting a lot of time, let's get started. But before we do that, can I please request you to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you found this video helpful. It takes a lot of time to work on such videos, especially you have to do a lot of background research and you have to do a lot of fact checking. So we would really appreciate your support, guys. And one more thing, guys, I am not a lawyer, I'm not an immigration consultant, I am not an authorized representative of IRCC. So please do your research before you apply for your own permanent residency pathway. I'm just here to guide you and lay down all the processes or the ways you guys have to apply for permanent residency in Canada. Alright, let's get started. First of all, guys, two important things you need to know about Express Entry is something called as tier code, TWER, and NOC code, NOC code. The first one is Training, Education, Experience and Responsibilities, TWER. So this classifies your job based on the type of work that you do, the skills that you need, and the education or training required. So for instance, software developers would have a different tier than nurses or teachers. And there are various types of tiers, guys. So tier 0 is management jobs, example CEOs, general managers. Tier 1 is jobs that need a university degree, example doctors, engineers, lawyers, architects, and so on and so forth. There are like tier 2, tier 3. NOC code essentially is National Occupation Classification. So this code is a bit more specific and identifies your actual occupation. It's like a dictionary of jobs in Canada, essentially. The NOC code tells you the specific tasks and duties involved in a job, as well as typical requirements for education, training and experience. So for instance, if I give you a few examples of NOC codes, for a software engineer and designer, the NOC code would be 2173. Or for a financial manager, the NOC code would be 0111. So these codes, guys, form the bread and butter of any Express Entry profile. If you are planning to submit your profile and if you suppose you are in marketing, you would need to identify your tier and you need to identify your NOC code while submitting the application. This is extremely essential. Government has a website where you can check your NOC codes and your tier. So be careful, be mindful, guys, when applying in the Express Entry system. Okay, the first way is Express Entry way. It's the most basic way, it's the most well-known way out there. It's the way Canada chooses skilled workers. It's like a competition, guys, where points are awarded according to your age, education, work experience, the language skills that you have, and other factors, of course. So there are a few programs under Express Entry. The first one is Federal Skilled Workers. It is for people with experience in jobs that need specific skills. So for instance, Federal Skilled Worker, guys, would be a doctor, would be an engineer, would be an accountant, or it can be an IT professional as well. The other program under Express Entry is Federal Skills Trade, FST. So it's for people with experience in skilled trades like electricians, plumbers, welders, or even chefs. And the third one, Canadian Experience Class. It's for people who have experience working in this country, working in Canada, like having worked for a year as a software developer or nurse. One thing to note here is, guys, the higher your CRS score, the higher chances are for you to be selected in an Express Entry draw, which comes out every fortnightly. And I think these days in 2024, around August, the scores is around 520 plus. So the score is slightly higher, guys, but then it all depends on your profile. Again, like I said, it depends on your age. So if you're under 30 years of age, you get a certain number of points. But beyond 30 years, your points starts decreasing. So you'll get 5 points less. Again, it depends on your work experience, if you have work experience in this country or not, if you have work experience in your home country or not. If you do, and if you have only 1 year of work experience, you get a certain number of points. Or if you have like 5 years of experience, you get more points added to your profile. So the second way is Provincial Nominee Program, PNP program as they say. Now PNP program, it overlaps with your main express entry program, because if your profile is under the express entry profile on the system, and if your application gets picked up by a province, let's just say Ontario needs a lot of people in marketing and you have an experience in marketing, and if Ontario picks your profile, it will award you 600 points, depending on, of course, after you submit your documents, after they have gone through checks and processes, and if they are okay with your profile, they'll award you 600 additional points. So if you were at around 350 points previously, you get 600 additional points and your profile will shoot to what, around 950 points, and in the next draw there are high chances of you getting an invitation to apply. So under PNP program, guys, each province and territory has its own program to nominate immigrants. They are looking for people with specific skills or who want to live in a particular area. So for instance, Ontario's PNP program, like I mentioned previously, might target tech workers or healthcare professionals, because they need healthcare professionals and tech workers in their province. Similarly, for British Columbia, PNP might prioritize skilled workers in agriculture or forestry. And for Nova Scotia, PNP might focus on entrepreneurs and people with French language skills, because there's a lot of francophone population there as well. Some PNP programs, guys, work with express entry, like I said, and others have their own rules as well. One interesting tip that I want to share with you guys is, if you have an offer letter from a particular province, it really helps elevate your profile and get you in that PNP nomination category. So keep this in mind. The third pathway to a permanent residency in Canada is very easy, guys. It's family sponsorship. So I don't think I need to explain much in this, but if you have a blood relative living in the country, if you have your own sibling, if you have your elder sister, elder brother living in the country, they can sponsor your application. But remember, guys, this person has to be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident for them to be able to sponsor you to live here. So again, there are different rules for family members. So make sure you check the specific details, especially on government websites, before you think you're eligible to apply for such programs. Now there are other 4 ways you can come to Canada as a permanent resident. Let me break all those 4 down for you. The first one is a startup visa program. This is of course for entrepreneurs who have innovative business idea and want to start up a company. Of course, you gotta invest some amount of money in the country before you get a visa, and through that you will of course get your permanent residency. But this is of course an interesting way if you want to come to this country and start your own business. The second one is self-employed person program. So this is for people who are self-employed in fields like arts, culture, athletics, farm management, etc. So if you're an athlete and if you want to come to the country and play for Canada, you can now do so, and you can get a permanent residency while doing so. The third program is caregivers program, guys. This is for people with experience taking care of children, elderly folks, or people with disabilities. So people like nannies, home health aides, or personal support workers, they qualify under the caregiver program. And the fourth one is Quebec Select Skilled Workers program. So if you live in Quebec, they have their own system for choosing skilled workers. So do some research about this, guys, and if you think you qualify, you can definitely go ahead and apply. Now these were the ways, guys, you can apply for a permanent residency in Canada. I hope you were able to understand and relate with a couple of different pathways to being a permanent resident in Canada. Now before I end this video, I want to share with you 6 practical but very important tips, guys, for you to get a permanent residency in this country. And trust me, guys, these 6 tips are extremely important. I use these 6 tips. These are my tricks and I want to share it with you as well, so that you also achieve your dreams of coming to this beautiful country. Let's start with tip number 1, which is you have to of course start early. So the process for me took 2 years time, and if you think that you want to foresee coming to this country in 2026, I think the best time to start is today, guys. Not tomorrow, not next month, not next season. You have to start today, because the government also takes a lot of time to process your application. The application processing time can last between 6 months to about 2 years. The second way is to get organized. So you have to gather all your important documents like your degrees, your work experience letters, your reference letter from past employers, your language test scores, IELTS test scores or CELPIP test scores, guys, is so important for you to apply, and these are extremely crucial documents if you want to submit your application in the system. The third tip is get your credentials assessed. So this means proving your education meets Canadian standards. For example, if you have a degree from another country, you might need to get it evaluated to show that it's equivalent to a Canadian degree. So in your home country, your institution or your university will be able to do this. Please do that. There is an organization called WES, W-E-S. They also help you with this process. So do some research, guys, on WES, and you can get your credentials assessed. Fourth tip, guys, and this is so important. A lot of people don't understand the importance of this tip. It is boost your language skills. You're coming to a foreign country, and this foreign country majorly speaks English. So you have to start speaking English right now. And I'm not only talking about spoken English, guys. You also have to be good at written English, because of course you will have to give tests like IELTS or CELPIP or TEF if you want to give a test for French. You have to make sure you score well in these exams, guys, for you to be getting good marks. So the fifth tip is, guys, consider checking out provinces and the skills that they need. If you do not want to move to Ontario, this is where majority of the people move, either Ontario or British Columbia. You can perhaps try Nova Scotia. You can try some other province. Maybe they have an easier pathway to immigration because they need skilled labor force, they need people like you, they need immigrants. So maybe you can try those different provinces if you do not want to settle in provinces like British Columbia and Ontario, especially cities like Toronto and Vancouver, which are densely populated and extremely expensive to live in. Tip number 6, guys, I know for a fact that you guys are going to do a lot of your own research, but it always helps to have someone assist you, especially someone who's probably an immigration lawyer, or who's probably a consultant, or who's probably an authorized representative, because these guys have been doing this for a while and they know the processes in and out. They know the new government rules and regulations. So you cannot go wrong if you have to reach out to them, even if it means paying them $1,000 extra. It is okay, guys, you can do that, because it's at the end of the day, it's your career, it's your life. You're moving to a new country, and a tiny amount of money shouldn't matter in the long run. I know it can be overwhelming, guys, to absorb all this information all together. So if you have any questions, you can perhaps go back to this video and watch it again, particular sections that you probably didn't understand, or you can always reach out to me in comments or write to us on Instagram or on our YouTube channel, and we'll always be there to address any questions that you have. You can also reach out to us on our email address, which you will find in the description box of our YouTube videos below. And guys, once again, I know it can be a big step for you, but moving to Canada was probably the best decision that I ever made, and it can be a good decision for you as well. You just have to set your mind straight, and you have to start as early as possible, and you have to anticipate a longer wait time, because it does take time, guys. And lastly, I just want to say, be positive. You are uprooting your life from one country and you're transplanting it to a new country. So of course I know how overbearing it can be, but happier times are ahead, guys. Stay strong, be positive. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, once again, can I please request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video, so others out there who want to know about pathways to coming to Canada can learn something from this video. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one.